Wow! Hello, everybody. So wonderful to have you join today. Today, Wednesday. Perhaps it's the middle of your day. Perhaps it's the end of your day. Right? But we all just need a moment to kind of invite some stillness. We need some time for ourselves. Yes. So let's see. I'd love to know where you all might be joining from in this virtual experience. Yeah, where is everyone coming from? Oh, Colombia. Bienvenidos. Where else are we from? Ooh, Switzerland. Yay, yes. Austria. Beautiful. UK. Paris. Oh, Paris, yes. Vienna, amazing. All these beautiful places that I hope to travel to soon. Monaco, Canada, Toronto. From the French part of Switzerland. Great, from London. Santo Domingo. Yes, I bet it's nice and warm and cozy there. Fantastic, friends. Thank you all so much for sharing where you're joining in from today. I am joining you from my small but beautiful yoga studio in my home. I live in New York City. I recently moved to Harlem. I don't know if anyone's familiar with New York City or Harlem, but that is where I'm live streaming from. So I want to welcome all of you, a small world. And this is going to be your 45-minute yin yoga practice that's in partnership with 7 Arts Collective. And my name is Jenny Mendez, and I will be guiding you today. So what is yin yoga? I'd love to, just by a raise of hand or a sign, let me know if you've had a yin yoga class before, just so I can kind of get a sense of where we are in our practice of yin. And if you've never had a yin yoga class, then welcome. Oh my God, you live in Harlem. You're my neighbor. All right, so let me see here. Whoops. I need to just adjust my screen, friends. Where am I? Here I am. Great. Okay, so some people said, yes, I've had a class. No, I've never had a class. Oh, awesome, Sally, great. So we've got some folks that might even be able to teach it, so that's wonderful. All right, I have someone from Italy. Ooh, awesome, Alfred, he had a private class on Sunday. So nice. Okay, well, welcome, friends, whether you're new to the practice or you've had some sessions before, I would like to welcome you into this experience. So for those of you who are new to yin, the postures that we do in yin are really, it's just a way to gently stretch and rehabilitate the connective tissue around our joints. Right? And what connective tissue is, it's this really sponge-like material that's just water-rich, and it has the ability to contract, and it has the ability to expand. And so when we come into our yin postures, we try our best to just relax our body. Unlike maybe a flow class, a power class, where it's more of a yang effect and we're doing this rhythm and repetition to sort of stress the tissues of the bodies, which we need to keep them healthy. The yin practice of yoga is creating gentle attractioning. So we want to be able to relax our muscles in order to be able to stress that connective tissue. So I'd like everyone to do this with me. Go ahead and take your left hand and give it a little shake. Relax your fingers, relax your palm, relax your hand, your middle finger. Go ahead and grab it. Keep it relaxed. Go ahead, grab your middle finger and take a look at it as you pull the finger down. And you might see some traction, some movement at the very base knuckle. So make sure the hand is relaxed, the fingers relaxed. You can do that a few times, right? So we're able to create that tractioning because the hand is relaxed, the fingers relaxed. You can hold it in there for a little longer, and so you feel that stretching, that tractioning. Good. Now go ahead and do the opposite. Go ahead and tense your hand. Spread your fingers wide. Tense it, tense it. And go ahead and grab onto that middle finger again and start to pull. And you feel like there's that resistance. There's that resistance. There's no more real traction. You're working against that tractioning. So we want to apply this sort of idea to our shoulders, to our hips, to our spine, to our body as we move through our poses. So I'll encourage you as kindly as I can throughout the practice to relax into the poses. We're going to be holding the poses anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. So with that said, why don't we get started? Now, if you've got some things available around your home, perhaps 2 pillows. I have 2 pillows. Maybe you have a yoga bolster and you can use that. But I'm going to use 2 pillows instead of a yoga bolster. I'm also going to use a blanket and I'm going to use some blocks. All right, so it's perfectly fine to do this without any equipment, any props, but if you've got some of these items at home, you might find them helpful and useful, especially if this is your first time experiencing a yin yoga class, or if you know that you have a lot of tightness and tension in your body and you've used these props before and they're helpful. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and bring myself over to my space here. And feel free to ask questions. Everyone will remain muted. And at the very end of class, we can open them up to questions. And feel free to kind of type in your questions. And at the end, we can answer them, right? But for right now, let's all focus on our practice. So come onto your mat. Come onto your space. And we're going to start. I'm going to take my blanket. We're going to start in a comfortable seated Sukhasan. If you have a blanket, you can go ahead and fold it up and you can kind of use this as a little bolster for your sitting bones. And it's not your whole bum that's on the blanket. You can even use maybe a pillow or 2, but they might be a little too soft. Perfectly fine not to use anything, especially if you feel like you don't need any lift or support. You want your sitting bones to come forward. So it kind of tilts the pelvis up and forward. Just take a moment to arrive in your seat. Roll your shoulders back a few times. Lengthen the spine. All right, we're going to start in a beautiful butterfly pose. So go ahead and draw the soles of the feet together. The knees are out. And just take a moment to just kind of feel this shape, see this shape, sense this shape. Soles of the feet together, knees out. Now, butterfly pose is really wonderful for low back sacrum, it's the spine, and then your inner thighs, groin region. So if you would like to experience this pose more in the inner thigh, the groin region, bring your heels closer to you towards your pelvis. If you would like to feel this more in your low back sacrum region, extend your heels further away so you almost kind of create this beautiful diamond shape with your legs. Lengthen your spine on your inhale. Relax your shoulders. And now as you exhale, you just slowly start to fold forward, a little forward fold, walking your hands out. I'm going to start my clock, and this is going to be a 5-minute hold, friends. Now, just ease your way into this pose. Now you've got some props and equipment. See if you can use 1 block, 2 blocks. I like to stack them right into the inner blades of my feet, the big toe side. I'll rest my forehead on my blocks like so. Arms down. You might have a range of motion, the ability to maybe even walk your arms a little further out and maybe even rest your forehead closer towards your feet. All right, so you just take a few moments to kind of experience this pose in your body. And we give into time. We give into time. Now, although I did say you want to completely relax your body, there is some effort that needs to be maintained in certain parts of the body so that you can stay in the shape. So sometimes it might not be ideal to completely relax the entire body, but here I want you to relax more specifically in your hips, your low back, and see if you can relax in the neck and the shoulders. You can soften your eyes if that feels good to you. You can close your eyes completely. And then just start to notice your breath. The way we breathe here is just a natural breath. There's no need to manipulate the breath in any way or try and change it. But just notice what the natural rhythm of your breath is like, where you might feel movement or sensation in this pose. So starting to tune into just how you're breathing and the sensation. And you begin to just kind of find a softness in the jaw. Perhaps even separating the back of your teeth. Allowing the jaw to soften. Now friends, if you might be working with a block, wherever you might be in this pose, just take a moment to sort of consider if you want to find a little bit more depth in the pose. Maybe you start to move one block away, 2 blocks away, or maybe if your arms are stretched out in front of you, maybe you start to walk your hands a little further. And see if you can just maintain the depth that you're in, or perhaps start to invite a deeper sense of the experience of the pose. So you want to use this pose to try and get into your body. And not the body to get into your pose. Friends, you'll slowly start to ease your way out of the pose. Start to bring yourself up slow and steady. There's no need to rush out of anything. Eventually finding yourself upright, spine lengthened. With the help of your hands, you're going to slowly just draw the knees in. Extend your legs out and just give them a long stretch, reaching your arms up overhead, taking a big inhale. As you exhale, bring your arms down. Slowly start to bend your knees over in one direction. Bring yourself into a tabletop position. Bring your hands down. Bring your shoulders over your wrists. Beautiful quadruped position. And then just start to bump your hips a little right and a little left. Just a little movement through the hips and through the lateral body, right and left. All right, friends. The second pose that we'll explore is a child's pose. So there's a few things that can make your child's pose a little bit more comforting. So you can take your blanket if you're working with a blanket and you can wedge it behind the knees. Sometimes the tops of the feet need a little bit more comforting. You can take the tops of the feet and maybe even the knees over your blanket. Bring your toes together and just a little widening of the knees. Take a breath in. As you exhale, you're going to draw the sitting bones back. Start to extend your arms forward. Just take a moment and pause. If you want a little bit more support for your chest, you can bring your pillows, one or two, and then just place them underneath your chest. Otherwise, chest to the floor. Forehead to the floor, or you can invite your block and bring your forehead onto your block and stretch your arms out. Or it might feel better to bring your arms alongside your body. See what feels good to you. If the knees feel like they're a little too wide for you, you can draw the knees in closer together. And settle back, drawing the sitting bones back towards your heels. Again, you want to take the first few moments to find what feels comfortable for you. And as you draw your awareness inward in this beautiful grounding pose, see if you can just slowly start to let go of your day. Let go of your day, any experiences, activities, events that you've had up until this very point. As you take your next exhale breath, see if you can just slowly allow them to be in the past. And all the activities and the events, the experiences that have yet to happen. On your next exhale breath, see if you can just allow them to be and live in the future. We start to settle into the sensation that we're feeling in our body in this present moment. And maybe just exploring and developing, bringing some space between our thoughts. Right, so it's not that you want to completely empty your mind from thinking, but just notice when you are thinking and developing that muscle of remembering. And coming back to your breath. And perhaps here, if you would like to set an intention for your yin practice, this would be a really nice opportunity for you to invite that intention. And it might be something that you are working towards cultivating, maybe something that you are in need of at this moment, whether it's health, creativity, and cultivating patience, love. slowly start to draw yourself out of your pose, slow and steady. Coming forward onto hands and knees. And just taking a moment to bring your hands down, shoulders over your wrist. And take a few rounds here of a cat-cow. So on your inhale, you're just going to lift and pull the heart forward. Tailbone draws back and up. You'll feel a gentle stretch to the belly and maybe all the way up through the throat. And as you exhale, tucking the tailbone under and a little coiling in and up sensation, drawing the gaze in towards the heart. You can do that a few times and you can find the tempo, the rhythm that works for you, slow and steady. Just experiencing this movement, going step by step, exploring space by space. Nicely done, friends. We're going to now transition onto our bellies. We're going to come down in prone position into Sphinx. So if you're new to Sphinx, or if you've got sort of any extreme tightness in your low back, you can keep your pillows, bolsters right where they are for your chest and your ribs to come on down onto. And you come onto your belly here. Keep your chest lifted. Your forearms are out in front of you. Forearms are in front of you. The elbows underneath your shoulders. Relax your feet, your glutes. Now, if you've got your pillow bolsters underneath, take a moment just to stay here. You might not have anything underneath, which is totally fine. But if you feel like the curve in your low back is a little too much for the low back, you can extend your elbows slightly further out away from your shoulders. Grabbing your block, that might feel really good. You can start to fold your forehead onto your block, or you can just release your chin down in towards your chest. And if you've got your bolsters, pillows underneath you and you want to kind of see what it feels like without it, you might not need that. It might feel pretty supportive without it. You can certainly explore that. And if you're not putting the forehead on a block, you can just slowly start to feel the softening of your chin. So you start to feel the suppleness and the length of your spine. We want to focus here on just our spine, the connective tissue along the spine, just allowing connective tissue to find that expansion. So we start to give into this idea of time, right? There's nothing aggressive happening. We're not wanting to force our body into any specific shape. So this is the power of Yin, right? It's the time, not the effort. Seeing if you can create a lot of space in your mind. Make it expansive. Softening. And tuning in, just being aware of the sensation that you're feeling. And starting to kind of listen to the language of your body. So our body speaks in sensation. So trying to tune in and listen. Allowing that to direct you. beginning to kind of just sense if there's any adjustments that need to be made. Noticing where the thoughts might be at the moment and recalling your intention and filling yourself with your intention. Breathing in, feeling the expansion of your chest, your heart. Breathing out, perhaps sensing a release in the low back, through the belly, the middle back, the upper back. Noticing perhaps how the quality and the rhythm of your breath have changed. Seeing if there's anything that is kind of surfacing. Nicely done, friends. Go ahead and just take your chest all the way down. If your bolsters are still there, just allow yourself, if your forehead is on a block, just remove the block for a moment and just let your whole upper body just melt down. Move your hips a little right and move your hips a little left. We're going to come back up into our Sphinx pose, and we're going to explore our embracing wings. So you can keep your bolster underneath your chest and your ribs, coming into your Sphinx pose. You're going to take your right hand and you're just going to move it over to your left elbow. Lift up your left arm and thread it all the way over to your left. Left fingertips reach over to the right and you're going to thread it. So it's almost like this little tie of your arms, these embracing wings. Taking your block and starting to bring your forehead to your block. And this is a really nice way to start. Now, if you're seeking to feel a little bit more sensation, a little bit more depth, you can certainly get rid of your bolsters, pillows. You can rest your chin on your top arm, relax your head. And so now we focus just on the shoulders, on the chest. And you start to begin to invite the experience of new sensations in new parts of the body, your shoulders, your neck. On your exhale breath, can you feel the heart softening? Or perhaps the shoulder blades spreading further apart and draping to the outer upper body. We begin to find a sense of calm with each exhale that we take, with each breath. And as we begin to calm our mind, we start to shift from a state of stress to a state of peace, of calm. You start to find your edge in the pose. You don't want to go too far beyond your edge, but just kind of right up. The guidance of your breath, Finding that sweet spot of being able to relax, to be able to sense, and to be able to invite the experience of your yin practice. Slowly begin to ease your way out of the pose. Start to slowly reset your arms, your forearms down, back into your Sphinx Pose. Take a moment to take a little lift, pulling the heart forward, the shoulders back. And we'll do side two. So you'll take your left hand over to your right, thread it underneath. Reach your right fingers to the left, reach them. So here we are, reaching our arms out into our embracing wings, and then slowly start to come into your pose, into your release, into this idea of melting down, out, and away. And take your time here. Maybe there might be some slight adjusting that needs to take place, so that we start to kind of meet our bodies where they are. So this side might feel completely different, maybe more tension, less tension. Maybe you're able to come into the pose with a bit more ease. Maybe you need to make some adjustments to your setup. So allow yourself to investigate, to sense and to feel what is right for you on this side. Here it's your intuition, right? What feels good? This idea of us being the teacher, the intuition guiding us, which is the real teacher, listening and heeding and experiencing. When we learn to relax, it really helps to dissolve the negative tension that accumulates in our bodies, the daily stressors of our life that can compound on our shoulders, and we almost feel like we've got the weight of the world on our shoulders. Alright, so when we learn to relax in our poses, it really can help us identify and release tension. The tension that is deep within us. Melting that down, out, and away. Slowly start to ease your way out of this pose, friends, sliding your arms back. Taking a moment to reset in Sphinx Pose. Feeling your spine long and supple. Inviting a deep breath in. As you exhale, just surrender your chest down towards the floor with your hands. Just slide them back by your shoulders, your chest. Lift yourself up. And then just start to shift yourself back and a little forward. Just a little forward and back motion. Maybe coming into a little bit of an up dog. Shift as far back as feels good to you. Maybe into an extended arms child pose. Shift as far forward as it feels good to you. Big extension and a releasing. And now start to walk your knees back into your tabletop position. My friends, we're going to go into a downward facing dog. Tucking your toes, taking a breath. As you exhale, press into your hands, lift your hips and shift them back. The knees can stay bent, the knees can stretch, see what feels good to you. Maybe you start to add a little bit of movement, pedaling the feet, bending the knees, maybe a sway of the hips. Maybe you relax your head completely, or you can look a little right, a little left. See what feels good to you. We're going to get into our hips a little bit more now with the sleeping swan. So go ahead and take your right leg, just a little float, nothing aggressive, just a little float, and you're going to bend your right knee forward. Right knee will come towards your right wrist, and find the shin. Maybe the shin pulls forward a little bit. Slide your left leg back. Now before you do anything else, just kind of notice that there's a gap underneath the right seat. If you've got a blanket or a block, you can bring something underneath your seat for a little support. Okay. Perhaps there's a big gap underneath your left knee. You can also bring a block right above the knee at the thigh. Take a moment to find as much squareness in your hip as is available to you. Lift the heart up, so thinking about that beautiful lift that you had in Sphinx. And as you exhale, you're going to drape your whole upper body, melt it over your hip, over your knee. Your forearms can find the floor. You have a block, maybe you rest your forehead on your block. Very nice way to relax all the muscles in your neck, shoulders. Or you can bring your forehead down and stretch your arms forward, maybe even into a T, right? See if that might feel good for the shape of your body. Maybe your swan doesn't sleep today. Maybe your swan stays a little bit more upright. That might actually provide the sensation that you might be looking for today. And so take a few moments just to kind of make any subtle adjustments. Again, trying to find that sweet spot. And if fidget sleeping swan doesn't really feel great for your knee or hip, I'd like you to just take a 90-90 position. The back knee will bend. And you can just reach your arms forward, relax your head. Yeah. Another option too, friends, is to just flip onto your back and bring your right ankle to the top of your left thigh. So again, we want to sort of meet our practice of Yin Yoga also within the context of our body and what we are able to achieve with ease and with some comfort, right? So that we still remain within this therapeutic approach. There's nothing aggressive happening. We're not pushing beyond our ability today. Just come back to your breath and see where the thoughts have gone. I always like to think about these thoughts as like these cars that go by. It's just kind of like background noise, perhaps. Coming back to your breath and thinking about your breath as a home, a base. You can come back to each and every time. Beautiful, friends. Now, slowly ease your way up. Take a moment. Press into your hands and tuck the back toes. Now you can come into your tabletop, or here's an option for you to come back up into your down dog. So in tabletop or down dog, let's take an opportunity to just bend our right knee behind us and open it up. Just fan open the right hip and it open. Create a little bit of space there, and then reset the right knee down. You can continue to stay in tabletop or take your hips up and back again into your down dog. A little float of the left leg, and bring the left knee forward towards your left wrist. See if you can bring the shin forward as much as you're available. And then start to find your pigeon or your sleeping swan on side 2. Left knee forward, take a moment to adjust. Take a moment to just lift up, so supple spine, long neck. And then start to drape over, forearms down, forehead to your block. See if you need to cushion the left sitting bone. And if you feel like there's just so much space between the heart and the earth beneath you, you can always bring your pillows, your bolster underneath, and just allow yourself to drape the whole upper body. And once again, just any subtle adjustments that you need to make. Seeing if you can relax the body, the right side body. 90-90 position is also an alternative. Just bending both of your knees, so not only left knee, but your right knee as well. Or if you decided that being on your back, the ankle over your thigh, staying on your back, with the left ankle over your right thigh. Perhaps even considering your breath in your spine. Breathing in, filling your low back, your middle back, your upper back. So you feel almost like this gentle lift up. And on your exhale breath, there's just a softening, a gentle softening down, out, and away. A gentle ebb and flow as you breathe in and you breathe out. It's the recycling of your breath. It's the constant nourishing of your cells. Ease your way back up, and if you're on your back, stay on your back. My friends who are 90-90 or sleeping swan, slowly start to come on up. You stretch your back leg, come into down dog or back into your tabletop position. Take the left leg behind you, just fan open the hip, fan it open. And then allow the leg to come back, either knee down to tabletop or foot down to down dog. So if you're in down dog, come back onto your knees. Go ahead and move your feet over to the side. Draw the sitting bones back and reach your legs out in front of you. Take a big, big breath in, arms up. And exhale, arms down. Place your hands down by your hips and scoot your sitting bones towards your heels, please. And then just start to come onto your back. Draw the knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Place your feet down to the floor. And we're going to end in a Shavasana, friends, a 3-minute Shavasana here. And feel free to take your bolster, your pillows, and you can cushion them underneath your knees. Maybe you take your blanket and place it underneath your head for a bit extra support. Extending your legs, your arms, and settling into our final pose, which is Savasana. Finding a place of comfort. So whatever that means to you, maybe it means that your blanket is wrapped around you. Maybe you dim your lights. Starting to now completely relax and feel your whole back body melting down, out, and away. Beginning to relax the muscles on your face. Letting that sense of relaxation just rain down the rest of your body, all the way down to your toes. Beginning to feel your bones grow heavy and sinking into a deeper depth of stillness, allowing yourself to just be, allowing yourself to simply let go. Begin to deepen your breath. Slowly start to reawaken your body, moving your toes, your fingers, and gradually reawaken the rest of your body in a way that feels natural, that feels good to you. And if you feel like you'd like to stay in your Shavasana for a little longer, feel free to do so. When you're ready, float your arms overhead and just feel that floating of the arms, that upward energy, reaching your fingers away from your toes away from fingers. Drawing the knees in towards your chest, giving yourself a great big hug. And when you're ready, finding yourself coming up into a comfortable seat. If it feels better for you to stay on your back, feel free to do so. Coming into a comfortable seat or on your back, wherever you may be, join your palms together in this beautiful gesture of gratitude, Anjali Mudra. Bring it to the heart center. And just take a moment to honor your practice, to thank yourself for showing up and devoting this time to you, to your well-being, to your self-care. With so much gratitude, I thank you for yinning with me today. Namaste. Thank you so much, my friends. Thank you, Small World members. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll check the chat box. If it's the end of your day, I hope it sets you up for a peaceful, deep rest of sleep tonight. And if it's halfway through your day, I hope it gives you that sort of sense of ease to flow through the rest of your day with some sense of ease. Thank you all so much. If there's any questions, feel free to let me know. Yeah, thank you, Beatrice. Thanks, Nazli.
Thank you.
Thank you, Namaste, thank you. Great, Maite. Yeah. My pleasure, you guys. Yes, blessings to you too, Zinat. It's the middle of my day. I feel so relaxed. I might take a nap. That's never a bad thing. All right, friends. Well, thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day, and keep moving, keep breathing, and I'm sure we will meet again. Have a lovely day, everyone. Namaste.